Matthew is 54. He is married. He has a well-paid, some say overpaid, job, but he suffers from a little-known life-affecting illness, blue nose syndrome, or to give it its Latin name, blua nosa syndroma. This is Matthew's story. Some of the names and places have been changed to make it sound more interesting.
I've suffered from blue nose syndrome ever since I was a child. I was 8 when my dad said to me, "We're off to St Andrews today." Wow, I thought, I love golf. Imagine my disappointment when instead of driving to Scotland, we drove 20 minutes down the road to Small Heath, a small suburb of Birmingham, twinned with Chernobyl. As we entered the ground, a strange sinking feeling and a strong smell of urine came over me. I came into contact with a strange group of people, all looking gloomy, without hope, bereft of life. This I later learnt was all the classic signs of blue nose syndrome, or to give it its French name, blue nose syndrome. Whilst we were there, my dad bought me a ticket for the Golden Goal competition, in which you get a ticket saying what time the first goal will be scored. My ticket said November. My life changed forever that day. Gone were the carefree Saturdays of Tiswas and Grandstand. These have been replaced forever by symptoms of blue nose syndrome, irritability, nervousness and Tourette's-like outbursts, interjected by rare passages of happiness and the feeling of well-being.
Matthew is not on his own. It's estimated there are 20,000 others who suffer out there without any help available, although these figures are seasonal. The sufferers can be recognised by the wearing of the uniform that identifies them, in very much in the same way that lepers wore signs around their necks. Some of these uniforms can be dated back to the 60s or the golden years, as sufferers call them. Quite often the sufferers can be seen accompanied by voluntary carers, and sometimes these carers will mingle with the sufferers to try and help them calm down. Fellow sufferers gather at various other venues around the country and can be seen demonstrating the classic signs of blue nose syndrome, or as the well-known mime artist Marcel Marceau calls it, the despair, the depression, the utter devastation. This is alleviated to a small amount by the chanting of prayers and mantras to lift spirits. Today is the worst day of the week for sufferers. It's Saturday, or match day as it's known. We follow Matthew on a typical match day and see the effects of blue nose syndrome at first hand, or as the Spanish call it, blue nose syndrome. Some viewers may find some of the following scenes disturbing, especially Matthew in that tight top.
Come on, the Blues.
What do you think, Brad?
What?
Today's game.
It's cold.
That lad's always cold.
He's always cold, isn't he? Here we go. Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. I'm a bit thirsty.
What's your prediction here, Matt?
2-1.
How do you feel? Do you feel anxious going toward the game?
Always anxious.
Yeah.
Always anxious.
What are the symptoms of anxiety then?
Blue and white in your colours.
Yeah.
Heart beating fast.
Yeah.
And just nausea, basically.
Yeah, I think nausea is the overriding
Total
emotion.
nausea.
Yeah.
And it doesn't dissipate until the takeaway arrives at 7.
Yeah.
And
So it's a whole day for you then, is it?
It's always a whole day from 6 in the morning till midnight at night.
And do you get any enjoyment out of this?
Only when we win.
Only when we win. So it's all about winning then.
It's all about winning.
So why are you a Blues fan?
I don't know. My dad said...
So how do you think that half went, Matt?
A half of 2 halves, basically.
Yeah. And which half did you favour?
Very good in the second. And now we've got 2 more halves to make 4 halves altogether.
Thanks. And was it you that was saying take Mahoney off just before he scored?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was, yeah. Okay, thanks so much.
The voice is
Dr. Hillary offers some advice for blue nose sufferers on match days.
Many people can identify with that. Sometimes you just don't want to go out, you want to hide away. The trouble is, when you avoid situations which make you feel anxious, you actually make it worse. It becomes a bit of a phobia. By avoiding those situations, it becomes an even bigger problem next time.
Despite extensive research at various American hospitals, scientists seem no nearer to finding a cure. One hopes that research will answer the question, is blue nose syndrome a form of self-harming or a cry for help? All one can do is give them the medication to lessen the symptoms. This is usually in the form of ingestion manufactured by J. Daniels and J. Beam. In small doses, this seems to lift the spirits of those affected. In larger doses, the sufferers vomit extensively. It has been proved that blue nose syndrome, or to give it its German name,
Blue nose syndrome,
is genetic, and that all male members of the family suffer in various forms. From the very quiet symptoms suffered by the eldest child, muttering, chewing of lamb chops and requirement for excessive sleeping, to the youngest child, who indulges in strange rituals, including the shouting of Tourette's-like sayings, "I've had another winner on the cartoon racing." It does not affect female members of the family. They are afflicted by a different form of illness, known as SOTV. The previous Health Minister, Mr. Jeremy Hunt, was recently asked about government funding for this illness. The health service is at breaking point. Unfortunately, there aren't the funds available for research and development for this kind of illness. Yes, I'll have a large gin. Yeah, and the lobster bisque, please. No, put it on my NHS expenses claim. Thanks. For Matthew and his fellow sufferers, the future is one of uncertainty. All he knows is that at present there is no relief from this terrible affliction.